In this video, I interview one of our students, Ben, who's been in our program for almost a year now. He lives over in Spain. Before he joined our training, he had no experience at all with digital marketing or internet marketing. And now he has built a local agency. He has a few rank and rent websites that are making him money, as he'll talk about, you'll see. And he also has a client that's paying him enough money that actually covers his rent over in Spain. So it's an incredible story, and if you stay to the end and watch this, I'm actually going to give you the exact checklist that Ben used to get this success. Introduce yourself and let's tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your background, where you're from, where you are now, what we're doing, like all the good stuff.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and my origin, I'm from Thailand. So lived in Thailand for like at least 8 years. My mom shipped me back to Thailand when I was born. And when I came back to the States, I was around eight years old. Grew up around the area, New York, Long Island. James, you know where I'm from. My family is in the restaurant business, in the restaurant trade. So for me, I thought the restaurant trade was one of the things that I would like to go for. I mean, I tried other things, but at the moment, I was like, you know what? I think the restaurant is for me. So like by the age of 25, around there, 25, 26, I moved here to Spain. So that's where I'm currently at the moment. Where I am, to be Pacific, I'm in the southern part of Spain, right where Gibraltar is. If you guys don't know where that is, it's on the tip, like they call it the armpit of Spain, which is terrible, because it's that's where a lot of things happen. A lot of British foreigners. That's where they all congregate, along the coast. Yeah.
So a lot of tourists are coming through there.
Yeah, a lot of tourists are coming to Gibraltar. It's a UK island, so they call it the Rock of Gibraltar. I'm not sure if you heard of it. You know the word gibberish?
Yeah.
And when some say, "Oh, you're speaking gibberish," that's where the word gibberish came from, because people in Gibraltar, they speak half English, half Spanish. So that's why they call it gibberish. So that's a little fun fact, little fun fact for you. But yeah, been here for 10 years. And I also I am still a chef. So here's,
Okay, so you moved to Spain, you were a chef,
yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Then you are now also, you have a local digital agency that you started. Now, before you jumped into our training, when did you get access to our training? How long ago was that?
It's literally a year.
A year ago. So a year ago, you jumped into the training. Did you have internet marketing, any experience before that at all?
Yeah, I know how to download films on the Pirate Bay. That's about it.
But no SEO, no advertisement, no marketing, no web development stuff, none of that, right?
No, I didn't even know how to use Skype, man, and I'm serious. I don't even know how to use Skype back in the days, and no.
Yeah, I still don't know how to use it. But so you jumped into the training, and then you took massive action, I know, because now you have an agency. Talk a little bit about the agency. What are you guys doing?
So when I started your training, it was confusing at first. I'll be honest. It was very at the beginning, it was very intimidating because it was like the unknown, But once you get into the training, and with your help and your partner Arvin, with his help, it was able to give me a lot of confidence boosts, because you guys taught me how to also sell, not just to stay locally. I actually have a handful of niche. Do you mind me saying it? You don't mind, no? I'll say
you can say it as long as you're okay with whatever. Yeah.
So I have an accountant agency in the Rock of Gibraltar. I have 2 window cleaning websites. Those are humble websites. They're really good. I have a construction website. Solar panel is one of the big niche. And then the rest, I'm actually just doing some real estates, because it's a big niche here, and I'm doing a e-commerce. And I'm also doing a really awesome niche. It's called the Moke. So it's like it's an old school English car, but we rent them out, these little English cars.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a little go-kart in this area, but it's a
Yeah.
classical military car that you can rent for like a whole day, whatever. But like, yeah, I generate leads for him. So yeah, there is some free.
You got a lot going on though. You only been in training and doing it a year. You got all these projects going on, and but
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing is I know that you are a hustler and an action taker. That's really what it comes down to, right? Like once you learn the skill and understand, it's like, wow, like as long as you can sell, like that's the thing. Like as long as you're willing to go and show people like I can do this for you. Let's work out a deal or get these sites up. And once there's leads, it's like now you just got to find someone who's going to take them. And it's just making it work,
you
seeing the
cannot
money making it work.
you cannot be shy when it comes to this, and I'm sure that we all need help. No one's perfect. Like I said before, it's like we all have different traits, different skills level, and like for me, I love selling because I sold cars when I was younger back in Long Island, in New York. But like that helps me with the sellings that when I approach customer now, I'm a bit more comfortable because I'm used to it from the past. But if we have people that we know maybe within the training that doesn't know how to sell, maybe we can help them out or help you guys out how to sell, because it is one of the key points when you want to sell websites or you want to sell SEO,
Yeah.
SEO service to a certain company. But yeah, it is something that we need to learn, is selling.
Yeah, definitely. And really just getting over the hurdle of just starting a conversation, because in the training where we have students that have sites that are producing leads now, and then I'll get asked, hey, I just don't know how to talk to someone about the leads that I'm getting. Like I don't know what to say, or like I tried calling and then like they hung up on me. It's all that's they're hanging up because you probably made it awkward, and they don't know what you're trying to sell them. So that's
Yeah,
why we have that. That's why we have like some recorded sales calls in the training as well, so people could listen and say, it's really easy. What we're doing is we're just starting a conversation like how we're doing now, and either they want more business or they don't. And if they do want more business, hey, maybe we can help them out, right?
yeah,
And if you just look at it like that, like you're talking to a friend that you can help out. And that's another thing. Like I have students that think outside the box, and when they join, they have friends that might have a construction company or a bathroom remodeling. And I tell them, start a conversation with them. You can either sell them services for their company, or at the same time, start a lead gen site around what they're doing in that area. And when you start getting leads, work out a deal with them. Because
yeah.
who's not going? I know my friends, if I'm like, hey, what do you have? Oh, you have a tow truck company? If I start getting them calls, they're gonna be like, "How are you doing this?" And I just be like, "Don't worry about how I'm doing it, but don't you want more business?" Like
It makes sense.
yeah. So
It's 100% makes sense, because in the long run, because they're not at the moment, if you're selling them the leads, they're not paying out anything unless you get them the leads, and
exactly.
there's no pressure on you. You just
No.
you get the leads, and it's just like you are your own boss, basically that's what it is.
Yeah.
You are your boss, and you're just selling them leads. If they want it, great. Okay, they don't want it, I'll go to your competitor. Hey, you want this lead? It's endless, man.
Yeah. It's I call it disruptive innovation, because we're just the middle guy. We're almost like the Uber app. Like Uber doesn't own any of their cars. All they have is the app in the middle. Someone needs a ride, they book it through Uber and they give it to someone who wants to drive them. Same thing. Someone needs to rent one of those little English cars in your area. They find your site, they rent it, and you don't do anything. You just give it to that guy. It's like the same thing. It really is. It's an amazing concept as
Yeah,
long as you're doing it and putting in the work. It's a real business. So obviously it does take work. And when you first jump into it, if you're new, yeah, it's a little overwhelming at first, but once you understand the concept, you really start to go, wow, like, and then once you get a taste of some success, like if a site ranks and a call comes in, you're like, I remember that. I'm like, wow, this works.
but James, I don't want to. I'm not bragging. I am not bragging. I'm just stating a fact. This is my
Yeah.
fact. Like with starting SEO a year ago, I'll say I had a lady who I work doing SEO for, which is my servicer. She's basically paying for my rent. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Paying for my rent, and that's been months already. And this is where you can go with this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like you
Yeah.
said, you have to put in the work. It's like if you don't put in the work, it's not gonna happen. But the best thing is that like you have a whole group of friends that does SEO that knows, in the same wavelength as you, and I feel like we need to take more advantage of that, if you ever feel like you're stuck. So
Yeah, I mean, it's also create, like I had one client today that actually just wrote me a check that I met up with. Actually, let me actually pull out the check in my wallet.
woohoo!
Yeah. So I just gotta hide his information and stuff on here, but like, and his account number. But right here, I don't know if you could see it clearly, $750.
Nice.
750 every month. He pays 750. He's been paying 750 for 7 years now, every month. And you know how I met this guy? I heard him in the coffee shop up the street talking to like one of his workers at the time. And I'm just in the coffee shop doing some work on my computer, drinking coffee. And he's like 2 tables away. And I heard him say, like, I need more business. Like, this isn't, and he was complaining to one of his workers. So then I just opened up my mouth and started a conversation. I'm like, I don't mean to interrupt, but I heard you saying you need more business. Like, what do you do? Like, I knew it was construction. Like, I could tell right away. And he's like, yeah, I do kitchens and bathrooms, and like I do home extensions. And then he at that point, he tried another big web company,
Yeah.
and he was paying like $1,500 a month. And it only lasted 3 months because he's like, I spent $1,500 for 3 months. They promised me within 3 months I was going to get calls. That's where they went wrong. But also I took a look at the site and like looked at the SEO they were doing. They weren't doing anything.
No.
They were just a big company that sold him this package for 3 months just to get him in for 3 months, take his money. So I said, listen, this is what I'll do. I set up like and this was 7 years ago. I said, for like $3,000, I'm going to optimize and redesign your site because it needs to look a little different for conversions. And I need to like add a lot of content. So 3,000 up front. And I'm like, and I'll do $750 a month. And I'm like, but I need 8 months to a year. Like, do you understand it? I think it was more of a personal connection we had because I was in person, and he like let me get my 8 months in. This guy is crushing it. After the first year, he's so busy, he can't keep up with the leads I sent him.
Nice. That's what I'm
And
talking about.
and the truth is, like, yeah, we look at his campaign and put in the work, but the real work was really done in the beginning, investing in the beginning, and now he's just solid. That just shows you, like, you can't be shy, like you said. Like, start a conversation. Just start a conversation.
Or maybe just I find effective talking to people around you. Like even family, cousins, aunties, uncles, grandfather, grandmother.
Yeah.
You gotta reach out, man. You gotta reach out. Can't be, because opportunities like that, man. That is awesome.
Everyone knows someone. And again, local business owners, I know because I used to be a local business owner. You need more work. You want more business. You just want to work with the right people, because there is those big marketing agencies that have a lot of employees, a lot of overhead, and all they care about is just selling, and they're not producing. So a lot of these people have been burned before. But I continuously just start relationships with people, talk, and you don't, like you said, even if it's a family member, you never know who they know.
Exactly. And that's how I actually got the lady that paid for my rent. I actually spoke to her friend, and her friend like, oh, there's a lady looking for an SEO guy for her real estate website.
That's awesome. Yeah, real estate too by you must be like really, I would think it's pretty, I mean, I don't know. I would guess anything in real estate is pretty competitive, but if you could rank for that, especially for you, I'm sure that's like good money for her.
Yeah, especially when you're selling to real estate agents, or even selling the leads to the developers, straight to the developers, not just the real estate, like to the mothership.
Like the builders. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't got to that point yet, but
yeah,
it's very competitive. But like you say, certain things takes time, so. when
Yeah,
you
the more competitive like the niches, and also like with Google now, it does take time because they have their algorithms in place. We're playing with those algorithms, but as long as you're doing the right things, and in the competitive niches too, it's like you want to make sure that you're really well optimized on page, and then you most likely are going to need those backlinks that are powering up. If you get a
well,
unique if you get a unique niche though, like some of the students tell me some niches that I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of that. It's so unique. But in like 2 months they're ranking. And I'm like, that's because it's very unique, you know?
yeah. Here's the you mentioned about doing the right way, doing SEO the right way. And a lot of business owners, I have to say, I don't know about in the States now, but I'll say around here, a lot of them they outsource people from
Yeah.
Fiverr or in different,
Yeah.
and they don't even know these people, and building websites for them, doing SEO for them. And that's a short-term relationship for that business owner
Yep.
and for the work that they do. But the work that we do, or the work that you and Arvin are training us and helping us to do, is that we do clean SEO. We do
Yeah.
it in it for the long run, and that's what Google wants to see. And once you show that to the clients and you're honest, you're straight with them, you're gonna sound different than most of the SEO agency that they think they're doing it right. But I've seen websites that they say, oh yeah, we have SEO on here, but when you go on that, their front page is not optimized, the pictures aren't optimized. You just go into a website and just right click and save the picture. If they even save the name, if they,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
save the name, you just know that
It's just a whole bunch of numbers.
numbers.
Yeah, I know. If they even have images, some of them don't even have images. I always say you don't know what you know, right? Because until you realize, like, wow, I know this, and most people don't know this. Like it takes that moment where you go, wow, because once you learn something and it's like you do it enough, it's so stored in there. Most people don't know to even do that. Most people don't know to optimize images, or even how to do on page correctly, or what content to add and where to add that to. So that's really where the value is. Again, at the end of the day, these businesses need help. They
Yes,
know they need help.
yes, they need help and they don't have the time to do it, and that's where we come in. And to go a little bit deeper, James, it's like we're helping shaping the local business and the society. More or less, we choose who we want to work with. If this is a good company and you work for them and you optimize them, they're bringing more to the community. You know what I mean? Does that make any
Yep.
sense?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you know that this company is a bit shady, I don't want to work with them. It's like you're like behind the scene man, helping to optimize a business that you think that is good for the community. That's, for me, I think that is important also. Try doing the right thing.
Yeah. You're not just growing your own business, you're actually growing businesses that you like and want to work with, that, work in the communities that, you're helping out these businesses too. Like, especially if any of them are struggling or anything like that. Like even the guy I met, he was struggling. Now he's busy.
You're his angel.
I actually just wrote, I forget what I wrote it, either in an email or maybe a blog post, but I just mentioned another relationship that I started. I was right here in a restaurant in the village, and I was talking to the bartender, and we were just having a conversation, and the guy was like really cool. And as I'm talking, like I just got to know him. He's like, yeah, he's like, I usually do kitchens and bathrooms in Fire Island. He's like, that's my main gig. He goes, but like I haven't been busy the last year. So boom, like a light bulb goes off in my head. I go, oh, so if somebody was able to feed you like more estimates, is that something like you'd be open to? He's like, yeah. I'm like, we should talk. I think I might be able to help you out, right? Just like that. And like that, he gave me his card. Now it's like, I know if I can get him some estimates. And he was showing me like pictures of his work on his phone. He does beautiful work. He just can't get the business. He gets some business because he's good. So he'll get, but for him to like stay busy consistently, he needs a flow of leads coming in so he can sell and organize it over the year. So he's just busy.
Yes.
And there's big money in kitchens and bathrooms, especially over here.
I haven't been back in the States in a while, bro.
It's big money. So, but just like that, like taking a conversation and just, you never know what they do, who they know, and just writing it down, because maybe if you know, especially, it's not even a guessing game. I know that guy, if I could get him calls, he's a good candidate. It's just now up to me to put the work in to build that asset out. Right now, we're building so many different assets. Like, you're going to see some new case studies that we're doing in the training.
I'm excited, bro.
You're going to see that. There's going to be so much new stuff that you're going to actually see, and we'll talk about some stuff. Yeah, especially like what you're doing now. I think next time we talk, I'll discuss some things with you. I think you'd be like, this is really great. Like, where SEO is heading, what we're doing. I expect it from someone like you. So I can't say that I'm impressed, but I am impressed. But like, I know that you're just an action taker. So in the last year, to see what you've done is amazing. Yeah. But I also know that you're going to take action and build. And I can't wait to jump on another call in another year from now and be like, yo, Ben, spit it out. What's going on? You know?
The restaurant business is out the window. You know, I love, James, I love cooking. I've been in a restaurant business for years. I'm working with a Michelin chef at the moment, so I can I can excel if I wanted to in my culinary skills, and also in restaurant business. I had restaurant business my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that, like, as you get older, you know, we all get older, I want more time, you know, and time, you cannot pay for time. It's something that you have to work for. But I feel personally for myself, and I'm sure you will agree, James, is that the online working world, web developing, SEO, or, you know, coding, or anything that has to do with online, I feel that it's such a good way for us to leave the 9-to-5 job, or for me, the weekends, because as a chef, everybody's out hanging out, barbecuing with their family, and I'm there working.
Yep. You know, time freedom. I say it like time freedom. Time, you can't put, for me, you can't put a number on my time. Like, it's time freedom. And now let me ask you, what is your goal with this business model now that you have this, you have momentum? What is the goal?
My goal is to have more time. My goal is to open my laptop.
Yeah.
A few hours and close my laptop and enjoy my time with my family, my friends, my volunteer work that I do. And I love it. You know, that if I get to that level, which is happening at the moment, the snowball effect is rolling.
When do you think you can be there, though, where it's like completely like, I open my laptop, check some things, I have a lot of freedom? When do you think?
The end of August.
Wow.
This is my last season as a chef, and also as a personal chef. So, like, I'm gonna be, I think my boss doesn't know yet, sorry. I mean, I'm gonna tell him soon, but like, he's but yeah, I do have a lot of offers still to open a restaurant, to open a beach bar, to open, you know, and like, I'm flattered and privileged for them to ask me to do this, you know, to open restaurants and stuff. But now, James, is more like the time that we're living in. I think family time and being around friends and good people is way more important than doing stuck in one place and it's set time. You know, I can't do that. So I have to say, I want to aim for August. That is going to be my last season as a professional chef.
That is amazing, man. That's amazing. And I 1000% agree. Like, there's nothing like spending time with family, friends, good people, and doing things that you love to do, and being able to run a business that operates from your computer, you know?
Yeah, from this.
Yeah, like, that's the money maker. That's your money maker right there.
This is your money maker, bro. Click.
It's great, man.
You know, James, I know you agree because your wife is pregnant 5 months.
Yep. No? Yeah, 5 months we're expecting. Yep.
When that baby comes out, man, it's gonna need all the attention.
Yep. Yeah, and listen, that's it. When you have family and kids and a baby on its way, it only makes you work harder to have even more time, you know? Yeah. And it's right there. The concepts, especially with the internet, it's there. You can actually do this stuff. It's not like it's 50 years ago where you can, you know, you had to show up to places, even if you had your own business. You had to invest crazy money to open up a storefront, or now it's like digital, baby, digital businesses,
Yes.
digital real estate. That's why I call it, it's like you're owning these properties, and also you have a skill set that people want to leverage that skill set, sell
Oh,
services, and make the money. Now, before we jump off the call, I want to ask you if there's any students that have that feel like they're stuck, or maybe they're going to join the training, they're on the fence, or if they are in the training and they have a lot of questions, what would be your biggest tip from someone who went through the training and has access to us? What would be like tips that you think would help the majority of people?
reach out. Just is as simple as 1, 2, 3. Pick up your keyboard, pick up your phone, whatever device you have, just reach out. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Just reach out, and they will guide you there. Because the reason why they're doing this because they want to see you succeed. And for me, when I reach out, I found my answer every time, 1,000%. So
Amazing.
don't be shy. Just reach out. It's that easy.
And what would you say is, because the success you had in the last year, what do you say is the main reason for that success? Is there's a certain thing that you feel that you do well that created that? What is it?
I have to say persistent, knowing how to delegate, also delegate your work because you can't do it all. And also, like we said, reaching out and sell. You got to know how to sell, man.
Yeah.
That is importante. If you're shy, like James was saying before, if you're shy, you could just reach out again. Hey, James, Arvin, or hey, Ben. It's like, can you help me to sell? We will schedule out a day where we can help you. This, like, you have to think to yourself, you're not alone at this. We're all on the same boat. We're all in the same SEO boat together, and we're all in this digital real estate, which I love that term, by the way, digital real estate. We're in this digital real estate gig together, and it's something that you have to think that we are a team. So, because if you're not successful, then we're not really doing our job correctly. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, we want you to be successful. So, like, I want you to feel what I feel also, but like I said, no one's perfect. You will stumble, you will fall, but you have to reach out. That's the main key, really.
Yeah. Asking questions, I would say, is the biggest key.
Yes.
And getting the right guidance. And like you said, even if you stumble, we all do, it's getting yourself back up and moving forward and learning from that, progressing forward, and things will just fall in place. Definitely.
And it will, because the SEO takes time, and like SEO teaches you patience. It really, you know what? It really tests out your patience, because you're like, every day, in Google, you're checking. I'm not gonna check today. I'm not gonna check today. But
I've got so much like, don't get me wrong, I'll go check sometimes, and I got so many sites going on, and I'll be like, oh, let me go check this site now today. And I go, let me just see what's going on. Yes. But I also know what to expect sometimes. My brother called me this morning. He's like, hey, I wanted to let you know that one site is on page 2 now. And I'm like, wow, that actually moved to page 2 a little quicker than I expected. But it's still been like 4 or 5 months. So I'm like, I expect like 8 months especially in certain cities and niches, like 8 months minimum, sometimes 12 months. But you kind of like learn to have that patience after you do it so much. And then if you are creative in the beginning and you do pick some unique niches and some areas where that fits, then yes, like sometimes I'm like, wow, like these sites rank a lot quicker. And then if you get into like national SEO, you definitely need to have patience. Definitely need to have patience.
Yeah, you need to shave your head, and meditate or something, man. You gotta be humble, man. Gotta be humble and chill, be patient. And you want, like you say, go look at your other sites, work on different project and let that.
Yeah, that's why while you're building here, you can do something else. Maybe whether that's at least buy another domain maybe and let it age a little bit. Just put up one page on it and let it sit there for 2 or 3 months. So at least it has 2 or 3 months aged in Google, rather than just buying a new domain and starting fresh. Like, there's always something that you can do. And I believe that you just tasted a little bit
Yes.
of what you can do. Once you see like the other stuff, I think you're not
I'm
only gonna be
excited.
mind blown, but I think it's gonna make like your world open up to be like, this is really what I can build, and then also get even more time freedom, and then just keep investing in this digital real estate, like different types of properties too, and just build, build, build.
I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be cool. I always get excited about new things, especially when it comes to SEO. So looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, it's a unique skill. It is,
Yeah.
but it is exciting. Like,
Yeah.
what it is. Once you see the power of it, that's when you really start to go down that rabbit hole. What else is there? What else is there? I'll also look at other sites that are out there and where I have ideas, and I go, oh, so what are they up to? What are they doing? How are they putting their content out? Google must like it if they're ranking #1. So let me look at their content. Like, you just go down the rabbit hole of just trying to figure out all this stuff and learning. And
It's a deep rabbit hole.
yeah, it is. It is.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the rabbit hole for like 12 years now. So yeah, I remember the first thing I did with internet marketing was like 12 years ago, and I helped somebody write like email copy. And we were doing something with like emails and Craigslist, and he was doing all this crazy crap on the internet. And I was just like, I was all about it, because I was coming from a construction business that I had. And I'm like, wow, like, oh, you're making some money on the internet. So I'm like helping him out with like business ideas and like writing stuff. And that's what opened up my mind though first, where I'm like, wow, people are making money on the internet.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning, like when things were just like, you could get, what SEO was totally different. Like, they were like blasting backlinks from softwares, which people still do on Fiverr, which is a terrible idea. Do not do that. Do not do that. I would not recommend you do that to your money site. But years ago, yeah, we could get away with that. And that's like when I first got in. And then to stay in that crazy rabbit hole, it's been a journey, because things, as you can see, change all the time.
And
All the time.
this is why we need each other. It's like
Yeah.
this is why you can't do it alone, because things are changing. And if you know something, you'd be like, oh man, this is or if I know something, hey James, this is, so it's like
Yeah.
we're feeding off each other, so it's
You constantly learn from each other, when you're saying, even when you're saying things today that I didn't know, like when you're mentioning certain things around your area and niches, it's like, it gets my wheels turning, like, wow, like that's unique, that's smart, like, like you just start to understand you only know so much. No
yes.
matter how much you study, how much you do things, you only know so much, because there's other people doing other things, testing other things out that work. And that's why, like you said, it's like a group contribution of like, hey, so what's going on with your business? And you also can leverage relationships.
Yes.
Someone might be very good. And I tell the students this, you might meet someone in the group that's really good at selling, and
Yes.
you might be a killer at like ranking websites, but you just don't know how to sell the lead. Maybe you team up. There's money there. It's just, you got to figure out how to work together. And believe me, when people know that there's leads, you could sell them. You just need the right person.
I mean, like I think in the group there's what, 140 now in the group.
I believe so.
Yeah, 140. That's a lot of resources in one room, and if you get stuck with like, you don't know how to write blogs, or where can I get blogs, or reach out, or hey, does anybody have a window cleaning link that I can link to? Can I write an article on your blog? It's like,
Yep.
you're webbing within each other, and within 140 of us, you could still link with each other. It's something that I feel like we need to take advantage of that.
You're totally right. Yeah, like when you have similar niches aligned, you could take advantage of the power from other people's sites, get a guest post on those sites.
Yes.
Definitely. I appreciate you jumping on here, Ben. I think that we'll wrap it up now. I took enough of your time. Is there anything else that you want to leave off with?
No, man, I think we're good. I'm really looking forward to your to your new stuff, bro.
So I hope you enjoyed that interview with Ben. I hope you got a lot of value and little golden nuggets out of everything he was saying. If you want to get that checklist that I mentioned earlier that Ben had followed, you can actually get that checklist by clicking the link down below in the description, and you will be able to get that checklist for free.